Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're talking about Mickey's A Very Merry Christmas Party 2023. Today is November 1st and the party kicks off on November 9th. I share my top 10 tips with you so you could have the best possible night at your next Mickey's A Very Merry Christmas Party 2023 or maybe even 2024. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Tip number 1, arrive at 4 p.m. for your party. The party doesn't officially start till 7 p.m. but if you have a ticket for the party, you're able to enter into the park at 4 p.m. So why not maximize your time and enter the park at 4 p.m. So if you want to be there at 4 p.m., that means that you have to leave your hotel about 60 to 90 minutes in advance, okay? I mean, obviously, if you're right there at the Contemporary, you just walk and you're right there. But if you have to take Disney public transportation, yeah, that's gonna take a little while. Currently plan for 60 to 90 minutes, so that way it could put you by the park entrance, say at 3:45, and don't get overwhelmed. When you get there, you'll see a ton of people, like a whole sea of people trying to enter. But Disney gets us in like this. Quick, go through security, you will scan in, you'll get your wristband, and you're in the park at 4 p.m. And you have from 4 to midnight to enjoy your party. Number 2, have a meal, a very good hearty meal before you come to the party. Because there's just not enough time in the party, and the last thing you want to do is waste an hour to maybe up to 2 hours on a sit-down meal. And especially if you have a large family, that's just that much longer, you know, ordering things, waiting for things, making sure that everybody gets what they need. Eat before, bring snacks with you. You can enjoy the complimentary cookies that you technically paid for throughout the night with hot cocoa and I think cider. And also, don't forget to get something for yourself after the party, because if you're planning to close at the party and stay there till midnight and not exit until past midnight, you're not going to get to your hotel until well over 1 in the morning, if not close to 2. And if you want to have a sandwich or a snack or even a banana or a drink of water and you don't have anything, you're out of luck, because everything is going to be closed. So just buy something in advance, put it in the fridge, and that way you can have something when you come back. Tip number 3, rent a stroller. I have 2 kids, one of them is a little younger than the other one, and for my younger one, because he also has special needs, I rent a stroller. And have a good time. You don't want to have cranky, whiny babies, toddlers, older kids, rent a stroller. It don't matter what anybody says, don't pay attention, don't let anyone guilt you or try to embarrass you that you have a 9-year-old and you're renting them a Bob's stroller. It doesn't matter. You want to have a good time in Disney. Your kids, the younger kids, are not used to that much walking and doing, and it's just like sensory overload. Get them a stroller so they could be happy and they could rest their feet and they could nap if they need to, especially if they're younger kids. Like, what if they fall asleep at 10 o'clock? Are you going to be carrying them around for 2 hours? Or are you going to throw in the towel and say, okay, I'm done because I'm tired, it's hot, it's cold, I don't want to carry my kid for 2 more hours and then, you know, wait in line to get into the monorail or the ferry for another hour. If you're not doing rides and your kid is sleeping in a stroller, there's still so much to do. Like, just the ambiance of being in Disney during the holidays, it is so beautiful. And just rent a stroller. Company that I like to rent, and this is not sponsored, I just have very good experience with them year after year after year after year, is Kingdom Strollers. They have very affordable strollers, your real regular strollers, and you could place an order and it'll be delivered straight to your resort, and then you can also pick it up right from your resort. I think they also have an option to pick up and drop off at MCO, or that could be a different company. Some strollers are amazing, and on our last trip I rented one of those Bob strollers for my kids. It was a brand new stroller, brand spanking new. Yeah, rent the stroller. Tip number 4, bring a change of clothes for everything. If you have young kids, bring a change of clothes in case there's an accident. If the weather is looking like it might rain, bring your rain gear, umbrellas, not ponchos, unless you get the good quality ponchos that don't stick to your skin and make you feel like you're in a sauna. Think about your shoes. If it rains, if it pours, if there's going to be a cold front, you want to make sure you have a sweater, a hoodie, possibly a hat, especially for the little ones. And if you're going into the park, maybe dressed up very, you know, fancy or fancy-ish, and you want to take some beautiful photos and just enjoy being all festive, and then as the night goes on, you want to change into your pajamas, whether it's just the kids or you, the mom and the dad, and you just want to be comfortable walking around, absolutely bring your pajamas and change. And especially for the kids, because if you do have younger kids and they get tired, they have a stroller now, and you could also bring their stuffed animal maybe that they like, or maybe something that they purchased, like a new stuffed toy, and you can bring a blanket and they could nap in the stroller and relax and be all comfortable in their pajamas and have their blanket and a stuffy, and it's perfect. Okay, so definitely check the weather, bring your change of clothes, and you'll be okay. Tip number 5, if you want to meet characters, you have to get in line way before 7 o'clock. Okay, so typically during these parties, like Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, you get to meet some incredibly rare characters, and there's a long wait for all of them. So if you want to meet somebody like Jack and Sally, that line can be like up to 3 hours long. You want to get into that line 5:30, 5:45 and just hang out over there. It's very possible that they could open up the line way before 7. It could be 6:30, it could be 6:45, or it could be 7 o'clock. But typically they will open up just a little bit earlier, and that also happens with other characters. Of course, it's, you know, day to day, party to party, but it is possible. So if you want to maximize your time, you want to meet the characters, get in line way before 7 o'clock. Okay? Tip number 6. Watch the second parade. There's 2 parades. I think one is at 8:30. I will put it over here. I can't even remember, but I think the first one is at 8:30 and the second one, I want to say maybe it's 11 or 11:15 or 11:30. And the second parade, if you can hang, if the weather is good, watch the second parade. There is an issue with the weather. Rain, thunder, snow, joking. Watch the first parade, because Disney can and will cancel or delay parades, shows, fireworks due to weather. Because if there's thunder, if it's heavy rain, they're not going to do the shows. Okay, they're going to delay it, and at the end they might cancel it altogether, and I've seen that happen during our Halloween parties. So watch the first parade if anything. But if the weather's looking perfect, go to the second parade. It's going to be a lot less crowded, and it's just going to be so much more enjoyable. And then you also have to decide, where do you want to watch the parade? Do you want to watch it on Main Street, see the beautiful castle and see the snow on Main Street? Well, technically it's like Snope, but you know, it's snow. Or do you want to be where the parade starts, which is in Frontierland? And obviously you don't get snow over there, but there's pros and cons whether you watch it in Frontierland or on Main Street. If you watch it in Frontierland, you are right there where the parade starts. So as soon as the parade finishes, you're able to go and do whatever you need to do. We're over here on Main Street, we're still waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. But we have the castle, we have extra entertainment, and we have the snow. So you have to see what you want to do. If you do want to be somewhere on Main Street, if you are watching the first parade or even maybe second parade, definitely find the spot a little bit early, at least maybe half an hour before. If you're going to Frontierland for the second parade, it's going to be empty. There's going to be so much space everywhere. So figure out what you want to see, and like, what is your vibe? Do you want to be on Main Street, or do you want to see the parade in the beginning and just be done with it? Tip number 7. Pick what's most important for you. Pick what is a must-see, must-do, must experience, and everything else is just a bonus. So there's just not enough time during the party, even if you arrive at 4 p.m. because you know, party technically doesn't start till 7 o'clock. But there's just still not enough time. There's shows to watch, there's parades, there's fireworks shows, there are holiday overlays on a couple of the rides, there's the cookies everywhere, there's so many characters, there's merchandise, there's dance parties, there is so much to do. So my recommendation is pick just a few things that you really want to do, because you don't want to leave the park being like, oh my gosh, like I paid all this money, I came all this way, and it was one thing I wanted to do and I didn't get to do that. So I say, if you have, you know, a family of 4 or a family of 5, start with by picking what is the most important thing for each of your family members, because there's just not enough time, and that is the truth. And also, when you group things and pick things to do and see and experience, group them by land, so that way you're not running from Frontierland to Tomorrowland and then from Tomorrowland back to Frontierland, because that is just a lot of waste of time. And especially if you get caught up during a parade and a stage show or something like that, there's so many people in a hub, of course, unless you walk all the way around, but you know what I mean. Don't run from one side to the other, because that's just a waste of time, okay? And just enjoy yourself. Don't feel like you have to do everything, because I know we want to. I know I want to see too and do everything too, but we typically go ride heavy and participate a little bit in the dance party and watch the parade, but we enjoy the rides. So pick what's most important and stick to the plan, and just don't forget to enjoy and have a good time. Number 8, if you're a family who is utilizing DAS Pass, also known as Disability Access Service Pass, you can absolutely, positively, 110% use this pass during Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, okay? You could also use it at the Halloween party. You could use the pass. I see this all the time, people arguing, like literally arguing in groups. Yes you can, no you can, yes you can, no you can. We couldn't, we could, we went, we weren't allowed to, we were told to, this, that. Yes, you can use the DAS Pass during Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, okay? So maybe this is where people get confused. If you enter the park at 4 p.m., okay, the DAS Pass on your My Disney Experience app is going to be active from 4 to 6. From 6 to 7, pretty much everything is inactive, including your DAS Pass. From 7 to midnight, it's back on again. The reason that there's that 1 hour gap in between this is because the park closes for the regular guests, for the day guests. So they're trying to usher them out, and the whole system kind of shuts down, and then at 7 o'clock it picks back up. So absolutely you can. I feel like sometimes people run into issues with cast members because maybe it's a brand new cast member. Maybe they're just picking up a couple hours, you know, out of their work week to do this party, or, you know, just a seasonal worker, or whatever the case might be, or maybe they just don't know. If you have an issue with a cast member denying your, you know, time back for your DAS Pass or something gone wrong, just go to guest relations. You can go to them in the front of the park, but if you don't want to go all the way back, just look for the blue umbrellas. They're all over the park. Those are the cast members that can assist you with your DAS Pass and answer any question you might have. So don't, you know, try to argue with someone who maybe honestly doesn't know. Just collect yourself and walk over to the guest relations, and they will answer and confirm anything that you might need to know in regards to your DAS Pass and how to use it and where it works and where it doesn't work. And just don't forget that that 1 hour between 6 to 7, it doesn't work, but then it works for the rest of the party, okay? Tip number 9, if you're planning to close out the park, get in line for one more ride literally at 11:59. We typically like to do either It's a Small World or Haunted Mansion, because they're some of the longer rides and you're kind of like at that side of the park. So if you get into the line exactly, say at 11:59, 56, 57, by the time you walk through the queue, by the time you do the ride, by the time you come out, it's already well past midnight. A lot of people already are leaving or have left. And then you just take your time, stroll through the park, use the restroom, sit down. No one's physically gonna tell you you need to go. Yes, Disney will kind of very gently push by roping off sections, by maybe moving your stroller if you have a stroller or a wheelchair or something like that, but they're not going to physically tell you you need to go, okay? So this will help you, 1, by going to one more ride to finish off your night, and 2, by not leaving with everybody when it's just crazy, and really just taking those last pictures. You're gonna have a pretty empty hub area and you can take some beautiful pictures of the castle. Definitely enjoy those last few minutes before you leave the park. All right, and tip number 10. When the night is over, whether you stayed until the fireworks, whether you stayed till midnight, don't mass exit, because there's so many, I mean, thousands of people are leaving at the same time, and it is just hectic, chaotic, it's just crazy, and there's honestly no point of rushing and mass exiting with everybody, because you're still going to be waiting on the monorail. You're still going to be waiting for the ferry. Of course, unless you're right there at the Contemporary where you could walk, or you're at Grand Floridian and you can walk, don't mass exit. You have to really leave the park like, we're done, it's done, I'm done, my kids are done. Do it before the fireworks, or get yourself to the front of the park, right there by the entrance exit area. Watch the fireworks from there, and then as soon as the fireworks are over, then you'll be one of the first 100 people or so to leave. That works. Otherwise, you have to just wait it out. And if you make it till midnight, I suggest you stay in the park for as long as possible, doing tip number 9 and getting into a ride right at practically midnight for one more ride, or maybe hopping in line and meeting a character and just waiting it out until honestly there's just like, you know, 1 or 2 people coming out, but not when it's like a mass exit. So that is my tip number 10. What else can I say? The party is so fun. You just have to go in there knowing that you're gonna have a good time. You're there to make the memories. And you know, if it rains on your party, because it could happen, it's okay. You know, maybe you could talk to the cast members if things were canceled or really significantly delayed, or it just really, you know, ruined your night. You could potentially get another date. Maybe you can get a credit, a refund. We personally never had to do that. We usually get really good weather during the Christmas parties. It's during the Halloween parties when it could get really messy, and we had really rainy nights, but we still make the best of it because it is just so beautiful. It's amazing. You can just hang out and you just enjoy yourself. Don't overplan, don't overthink. Go and have a good time, and just know that you don't have to, like, you know, get your money's worth. Like, your money's worth should be the memories that you made with your kids. So, you know, if you roll up to the park at 4 p.m, fantastic, you will maximize your time. But if you can't because, you know, your dinner was later, or your kid took a nap, or you yourself just needed, you know, a time in the room, don't worry. Like, it's not a race. So whenever you get there, have the best time and enjoy yourself. And these were just tips that I share from my experience, and I think they should be pretty helpful to anyone else. And one more thing I should have mentioned in one of my tips is that for the next day, don't plan anything. Don't plan to rope drop Hollywood Studios or Epcot or anything else. Sleep in, don't have an early reservation. Take it easy, maybe have a pool day, or maybe have a half park day, and just enjoy yourself, because you could definitely have that burnout, and the kids can have that burnout, and we don't want to have that in Disney. We want to try to avoid that and have the most magical time, and just, you know, being realistic, like, hey, we're gonna be late tonight, but tomorrow we'll sleep in and just enjoy a pool and a late breakfast. Alright guys, well, I hope this video was helpful. Definitely go and have the best time at your next Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party, whether it's this year or next year or the year after that, whenever this video might find you. Have the best time. If you have any further questions, be sure to leave it down in the comments below. I'll definitely try my best to answer everything, and I'll see you real soon. Bye!